law could become the refuge of the petty-minded, the unintelligent, the unethical, the myopic, because law is ultimately reduces itself to a bunch of rules. All laws, if they are divine laws, unlike human laws it could be a product of privilege and power. They could be a product of someone that just wants it to be so because they gain financially. But that construct in divine laws is God doesn't decree laws to achieve some type of advantage for God's self. God doesn't decree a law to privilege some group over others. The very idea of divine law is that all laws are supposed to be for a moral purpose, for an ethical purpose. But this is a challenge, right? Because then law gives the comfort of law is that it's positivistic, it's resolute, it's do and do not. And it's very easy to start dealing with divine law like we deal with human law, that we just follow the rules and forget or ignore what the rules were there, what the objective of the rules were in the first place, what the purpose of these rules were. And the most dangerous things about Muslim obsession with law is it's like what I've observed about what in this society they call potheads, the people who smoke too much marijuana. They have a false sense of achievement. They think they're achieving things in life, and in fact, quite often they're just stuck where they are. Law creates sort of potheads, but in an ethical way. They think that they're being good because they're preoccupied with all the technicalities. But it could become very easily the refuge of small minds. The whole thing becomes whether we are doing this correctly or incorrectly, but the ethical principles become something so forgotten that no one remembers anymore and no one even talks about it anymore. And what you notice, what I was telling Grace, is that in the Muslim community, you notice that it's even the worst thing is that we're all Muslims, not all, there are Muslims who don't care, about anything. They're nominally, if they're Muslim at all. But there are all too many lawyers among Islamic communities. So many Muslims approach their religion like lawyers. But even worse, they're not trained as lawyers. So it creates absolute disaster. At least if they're trained as lawyers, they might, handle the technicalities well. But you're not even trained as a lawyer, but you have the framework, the mindset of a lawyer. So it's like when you go to a really bad attorney, who just gives you really bad advice and messes up your life. That's often the way I see our dear Muslim community. A bunch of incompetent lawyers. Yes.
And interestingly, from the perspective of a convert, I think it's probably fair to say that what was really appealing from not knowing anything about the Islamic, not having any background, what was appealing was the ethics and the message and the divine beauty of like the fairness, the mercy, all of the stuff that we talk about. And it's not until you actually become Muslim and you start interacting with Muslims that you realize or you feel like, oh, we're supposed to be skilled in law. Because what people, throw at us is, oh, halal, haram, because Islamic law says this, Islamic law says that, and then pretty soon, because you don't know any better, you think that, oh, this is how it operates. But, it just struck me like really the appeal from the beginning is exactly the ethics and the morality, and then it gets completely lost once you become Muslim. So, anyway, of note.